Here's one for you. That is the intro to the Eagles Already Gone. It's not a part that you often hear, but believe me, it is there. It's on the record. And what happens there is it comes off quite an unusual time, so it's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And that line goes from a C sharp to a D, E, F sharp, G, A. And it's quite twangy, it's quite precise. Right? There's then the first, the band come in with that chiming G chord. So you go B, A, G. Right, and then for the D chord, play that, which is a D and an A. And for the C, and we're into the song, right? So that's G, B, A, G, and then this. Just follow the notes down, A, G, F sharp, E, D. And then as if you're playing a C with the third on the bottom, that one, just go. Slide up to E and G, slide down to. Now there is another part that you're probably more familiar with because you'll have heard it more often than this. And again that goes over like that, right? Sometimes they play it straight, sometimes they bend it. And they do that run-in before Glenn Frey's solo, that we'll get to in a minute. There's a couple of fills. There's one bit at the end of a line on the G, D, C. You play that, which is like a C, double stop, it's an E and a C. Like that, and then just go down. All the licks, if you remember, are based around the chords. They're all based around it, and sometimes when it gets to solo, the licks will change as the chords change rather than stay in one scale pattern. If there were a scale pattern, you'd probably find that it would be a G major 5-note scale. That scale, right? But there's a lot of other notes in it that follow the chords, right? So there's all those kind of licks. It's a great one to play, if you want to play it on acoustics. It's only got one bit, it's only got a G. Well, I heard some people talking just C, and they said you were going to D, put me on the shelf. That's it, right? At the end of the song it changes key, but it plays the same bit. It's just instead of it going G, D, and C, it goes, which is obviously C, G, and F. It's the same part, it's just in a different key. And that is it. You probably know the story that when the Eagles were recording their third album, On the Border in London, Glenn Frey had said to Glenn Johns, make us sound like The Who, make us sound like a big old dirty rock band. And Glenn Johns had said, but you're not rockers. Now there is plenty of rocking on the Border, so I would say that they played very, very well, and Glenn Johns did a pretty sterling job. I think the master tapes were flown back and forward from America to London to get a different mix, and it's got Don Felder's incredible slide on Good Day in Hell. It's got On the Border itself, and there's a lot of rocking guitar. James Dean's got real kick-ass guitars, but for me this is my favourite one on the album. And what that means is the rhythms, when the singing comes in. This is how you'd imagine an Eagles song of that era would go. It's more like you hear the gaps there. played like that in that kind of Dave Edmunds, Chuck Berry. And it's a lovely blend of, you know, a lot of rock and roll and, I guess, country. Now, after the guitar solo, there's one fill, which, you know, you got to know this one. You got to know this bit, right? So after the guitar solo, it kind of calms down a bit. You know, the intensity is still there, but the volume comes down a little, and the bass. Right, so I'll play the harmonic. Right, so the notes are this: you bend the C, high G, and just a normal 5-note lick. Play the C again, play a B flat and a B, a G, F, G. But it jumps out the mix because of that. There's another fill where in the first version, second verse rather. That's before Just Remember This My Girl when you look up in the sky, right? So those are the main fills. As I say, that bit you can play it straight. Or you can play a little bend. And it leads into Glenn Frey's solo by going boom. And we'll get to boom in 2 seconds.